Hello there, welcome back to my channel. It is Friday, February 14th, which means it is Valentine's Day. And in addition to that, it's also the end of Random Acts of Kindness Week, and it's the end of when my school celebrates Teacher Appreciation Week. So it's a big day. There's a lot happening. We have our Valentine's Day party. We're doing fun activities in math and in science. We're doing a Guess the Baby game. I mean, what could be more fun than that?
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back.
My table is just covered with things that I want to show you and share with you, so let's jump into it. So in spirit of Valentine's Day, I got myself a new sweatshirt. I thought it was very teachery, very cute. It's from Etsy, so I will link it for you if you are interested. It has been a busy week. Wednesday, we had Makerspace, which we have Makerspace every other week. And one of their options this week was to create their Valentine's Day box. And I had several students who chose that as their option. We were using old computer boxes, like Chromebook boxes. And so as my students were opening them, there were those kind of vacuum sealed bags of air, essentially, that protect, things inside. And the ones that were inside of the Chromebook boxes kind of had these tall vertical lines. And as my students took them out, they're like, what do I do with this? I'm like, oh, we can just recycle it. But one student was like, well, can I use it for my box? I'm like, sure, not really knowing where they were going with it. Y'all, they made the cutest little French fry box. They taped pieces of yellow construction paper onto the pocket of air on the top and made it into French fries. It was the most adorable thing I've ever seen. And then this was the perfect tie-in to Random Acts of Kindness Week. I explained this all in my previous vlog, so if you missed it, go back and watch that vlog. I shared all the activities that I did with my class throughout the week. And this was something so sweet that came out of it. In the afternoon, one of my students was creating their box, and I guess they needed help. Another student ended up helping them. And at the end, the student who was creating the box came up to me and they said, hey, this student, they sacrificed making their own box to be able to help me. And I really feel like they should be recognized for that because they took their time to help me instead of making their own box. And it was just so sweet that they were acknowledging that student's efforts and that they wanted me to acknowledge that student's effort. They took the time to come tell me about it. It was so sweet. And so I had that student do our first prize drop, which I shared about this in the previous vlog, but I had from my Amazon wish list a prize drop board fulfilled, and it's essentially like a Plinko board. I created some little custom labels for it, and I have a free template. You can go back and grab the link on that video. But my students officially got to use the prize drop, and it was so exciting, so much fun. The student ended up getting to go into the prize box, which I have out because on Fridays are when my students can show me their iReady scores from the week, and every time they get 100, I shade in a little box on their organizer thing where they track it, and once they get 500s, they get to go into the prize box. So I have that out for today. I replenished it with some of those little trinkety items, but I also created homework passes. So this goes with my board. I will link this for you also as an editable Canva template if you are interested. It's pretty basic, but I have those ready to go because today, all of my students received bingo boards on Monday, and I told them if they completed their bingo board and turned it in on Friday, they will get to do the prize drop. So we're gonna do that this morning and we'll see what comes of it, but my students are so excited and I love seeing them excited. It's a perfect way to end the week. Now, in addition to Random Acts of Kindness Week, we have also been celebrating Teacher Appreciation Week this week. I explained in my last vlog why that is, so go back and watch it. But I had some things to share, and it makes me so happy, mostly because it shows how well my students know me, and that's a really good feeling because that means I've formed close connections with them. This card from a student, how on brand is that? It's absolutely adorable. And then I've been writing thank you notes as we've gone. So I have some that are done. Thank you notes are really important to me. Just handwriting a thank you note as opposed to just sending an email or just telling them in person thank you. I like to be able to write thank you notes. So as the week has gone on, I've been writing them, and then I've been kind of holding on to them because there have been different things each day. And so I've been adding to the thank you note as the days go on. But on Wednesday, our students were supposed to fill out this paper that the PTA provided that said, thank you for being an amazing teacher, and they had to respond to the prompts. My favorite thing about you is what I've learned from you. My favorite memory is thank you for, and then their name. And so I wanted to share just a couple of them because I thought that they were really cute and very on brand for me. So let's see. My favorite memory is when you use a funny accent while reading things. My favorite memory is your way of teaching us, for example, your accents. Can you tell I like to teach with accents? My favorite memory is your British accent. This was really sweet. Thank you for making sure everyone actually knows things by double checking, not being a boring teacher, having fun lessons, and helping everyone so much. My favorite thing about you is your funny connections to classwork and the world. Thank you for being my teacher, helping me, rewarding, and caring for me. My favorite memory is having a lunch bunch during my time as Golden Emerson. It goes to show you those little things they really pay attention to. My favorite memory is the saran wrap balls from the winter party. I had a couple of students who mentioned that, so even though they were a lot of work, they were definitely worth it. Thank you for purchasing the geode kit for the class and for being the world's best teacher, because they're not biased at all. My favorite thing about you is that you always go above and beyond, like the rock candy, the Golden Emerson, the geodes, to name a few. I've learned about never giving up, concentration, integrity, and kindness. My favorite memory is when the winter party was happening, the snow globe I Spy gift was very personalized and you took a lot of time and effort to make them with love. Thank you for being amazing, kind, and teaching me with love and not carelessly. Also by the fact of you really doing stuff for the class that you chose to do with your money. It's just nice to be acknowledged. I mean, I felt so appreciated this year by staff members, by my students, by their families, but having a week dedicated to that, especially this time of year when, you know, we're all a little tired, a little cold, it feels really good. So it's been a great week. And then speaking of coworkers, yesterday, one of my team teachers, which come on, her handwriting is just stunning and beautiful and I'm highly jealous, but she gifted us each a poppy, which I've never had a poppy. This will be my first one, raspberry rose flavor. She said it's good. And then some little treats. I held on to them, but I'm going to enjoy them today. And then y'all know my love language is gift giving. I love being able to give gifts. So I've prepared some little Valentines for my coworkers, my team teachers, and then other like assistants that I work with, some front office staff. I have these lip balms. They're like the EOS lip balms. I wanted to do Burt's Bees, but I was struggling to find them in like a bulk pack. So I went with EOS, but it just says, working with you is the balm, happy Valentine's Day. I made these tags on Etsy as well as these tags. So I will link them both as an editable template if you are interested in using them. I just attached the lip balm with a glue dot. And then I baked cake pops last night, which this was my first time ever baking cake pops. I've only ever eaten like 5 cake pops in my life. And note to self, I probably shouldn't do things for the first time and then gift them to people. Now, the tag I thought turned out really cute. It says, you make my teacher heart pop, happy Valentine's Day. And I always put like allergen information on there. The actual cake pops themselves, you know, they're a first attempt. I was gonna drizzle the icing on, but it wasn't thin enough, so I ended up just drawing hearts, but a lot of the hearts got smashed, so some of them look okay, like that one. You can tell it's a heart, that one not so much. But I did my best and that's all that matters. So I just kind of grouped them into 2s. They are red velvet flavor and y'all, I have like a whole bag of them. So I'm gonna go deliver these to all of my team teachers, get that done and out of the way before the morning starts. Actually, before I do that, let me quickly chat with you about what's happening today. Math. I'm teaching a normal lesson, but we're gonna do a digital escape room. I have a template that I made. It is Escape Cupid's Lair. So I'll share about that after school because I don't have a lot of time and I'm trying to do all the things. Then for science, my team teacher came up with this idea and it's so simple. I'm curious to see how it turns out. We're going to give our students some candy hearts. So we got these big bulk packs on Amazon. So I have this bag and then my team teacher that does not have a switch class gave me some of her extras to kind of supplement. But we're gonna essentially give them the candy hearts and tell them to model the water cycle. That's it, those are the directions. We have a checklist of things that they have to include. I'm gonna give them a piece of cardstock. They'll color it, but from what I saw, some of the other classes started yesterday and students would group together like the yellow ones to represent the sun because the sun provides energy for the water cycle. And then they would group together some of the blue ones to be rain and the white ones to be clouds. we'll see how it goes, because I worry that some students are not gonna have enough of the right colors, and not that it really matters, but we're just gonna let them be creative. It's a nice, fun end to the week, and it's super easy, you know what I mean? It's low prep. I'm just gonna give them paper. I've got some liquid glue. I've got the candy hearts. And then, this is always my little teacher hack. When you are passing out, whether it's like little snacky things or something like the candy hearts, I like to use coffee filters because you can get so many of them for so cheap. This was a pack of 200 and it was like $1. So this will last me for a while, but I can easily put the candy hearts in them and pass them out. And honestly, I might just let them eat, like have them put it on their paper to model it and then eat them. I don't know. We'll see how the morning is going. Then outside of normal instruction, we have our Valentine's Day party, which thankfully I have an amazing room parent who's coming and taking care of the setup and has organized all the games. So we'll chat about that after school. I do know one of these stations is like a photo booth. So I went to Target and got just kind of this little backdrop to be able to have just in case. I'm not sure what all they are bringing. I know they have little props for the students to hold up, but I wanted there to be a cute backdrop. So I'm gonna hang this up, probably over by the science word wall. And then while we set up the room, my students are gonna play Guess the Baby. So I had all of the families send in a baby photo of their student, and I have put them onto slides. They are going to fill out just this basic form where they write down for each number who they think that baby photo belongs to, and then we will reveal the answers. Whoever gets the most right, I had to go to the store and get a baby bottle pop. I just thought that that was very appropriate. If you're not familiar with baby bottle pop, it's a candy. The top part is like a lollipop, and then there's sugar stuff that you can dip it in on the inside. I got 2 just in case there is a tie, but I thought it was the best reward for a game like this. And they don't know it, but I've also put in one of my baby photos into the group. So we will see how that goes. I will update you, and I'll show you just kind of the basic slide layout and what all that looked like. And then otherwise, passing out Valentines, I'm actually gonna try to have my students do that this morning, first thing, so then we can put their boxes away for the day, and then during the party, they can go through and look through them. But at H-E-B, which is our grocery store chain here in Texas, I just got this little felt basket to collect my Valentines in. And I think that's it. I feel like I need to just get the day going and then let you know afterward how everything was. And in case you missed it, because I shared this several vlogs ago, I actually prepped my students' Valentines back in January. So I created these little volcano kits since I am their science teacher. Some of them say all you need is lava, and then some of them say I lava you. But inside you have the plastic volcano, the powder, the stick. There's a direction card on the back, and then there are different colors of powder. So there's yellow, red, pink, and blue. Now these are a little bit pricier, obviously, than other Valentine options, but to me, I think it's so worth it. They're adorable. They were quick and easy to assemble, and it comes with everything you need. So all the items inside, the bags, the tags, and even the ribbon to tie them off with. So you have to assemble them, but everything you need is included. I will link them for you if you are interested. And I also thought these were adorable. My team teacher is giving out these little like Lego kits. So if you're looking for an option that maybe isn't as directly tied to science, but isn't candy, I will link these for you as an option as well. So maybe next year, if you want to change it up, you can go volcano, you can go Lego. There's plenty of other options online as well, but I'm obsessed with these little volcano kits, and I cannot wait for my students to open them. So here is the after view of our classroom. All things considered, I will take this. I don't think this is bad at all. I mean, there are a few things out of place, and this is no big deal whatsoever. There are some random conversation hearts on the floor from our science activity. We've got a whole host of crumbs up here on the front carpet, which I find hilarious because the snack station in our party was on the opposite side of the classroom. So how they got up here, I don't know. It's probably just more visible on the black rug versus the rest of the carpet, but otherwise, I felt like they did a great job cleaning up. They left the classroom in really good condition, so I'm happy. I'm exhausted, but I'm happy. Also, side note, my little lights that I have up here around the board, usually I have them kind of changing rainbow color, but for today, for Valentine's Day, I had them just on solid red, just to change things up a little bit. So in math today, I taught my normal math lesson, but in lieu of us doing our problem set in our workbook, I opted to have my students complete this digital escape room, but all I did was take questions from the workbook and put it into my digital escape room template. So the theme is Escape Cupid's Lair. It is set up as a Google form. I have this editable template in my TPT store, so if you're interested, I'll link it for you. But the storyline is that you had your history textbook open to a page about Cupid, the Roman god of love. You feel your eyes getting heavy, so in the blink of an eye, you're transported inside the book. You look around and realize you're trapped inside a pink room that must belong to Cupid, and you have to try to escape. All of these animations and the storyline are set up for you. You just have to add your own tasks or questions. So this part is all done. Where you have to edit it is with the task. So for example, this was task 1. I literally just screenshotted the area models from their math workbook, and then I typed in the question. So they had to write an equivalent fraction, and they had to type their answer using a slash. So for this one, they had to type it as 70 hundredths, so 70/00 space equals space 7/10 to represent 7/10. If they typed it in any other way, so for example, if I take off that 0, it will not let them go on, but once they type in the correct answer, click next, and then it moves them on to the next part of the escape room. And for example, this one, 2 gumballs come out and they have the option to choose between pink or purple. They will end up completing both tasks. They just have a little bit of control over the order. Now, yesterday, kind of similar, I had my students create these digital mystery puzzles. These are also templates I have in my TPT store. The idea is students are trying to uncover a puzzle. So currently it is all covered, but as they answer questions, it will reveal one piece at a time. So for this one, once again, I just screenshotted this from their workbook, but once they type in the answer and click next, it's going to reveal one piece of the puzzle at a time. And these are actually animated. In the template, I have ones with 9 pieces, 16 pieces, and 25 pieces. So that corresponds to the number of questions. So the one I had them do yesterday had 16 different questions that they had to answer. Once again, these just came from their workbook, but I reformatted it in a little bit more of an engaging way. So if you are interested in these templates, you can use them for any subject area, any grade level. They come with tutorial videos that show you how to edit them, but all of the animated pieces like this are already done for you. So I will link that for you in the description box if you're interested. Other than that, outside of our math lesson, the digital escape room, we did the science conversation heart activity, we did the guess the baby game, and it was so much fun. My students were really into it, and it was cute just watching them kind of look around, trying to figure it out. Some of them would like stand up and they're trying to evaluate everyone and look at different facial features. And it was the perfect activity to do while my volunteers came in to set up for the party. I had my students all up front with clipboards filling out for the Guess the Baby game while they got everything set up. And then the party was amazing. Again, I have just fantastic families who organized it all, had everything ready to go. So I didn't have to do a whole lot. I was able to play some of the games with my students. There was a dice game where they played basically like tic-tac-toe, but in order to play a piece, they had to roll doubles. So they were playing in teams of 2. So each student would roll a die and they had to match the same number, and then they got to play on the tic-tac-toe. So they were racing against another team. That was a lot of fun. There was the photo booth set up. One of my students took the mustaches, turned it into a unibrow, and they decorated little heart keychains. Those were adorable. They made little fortune teller, like cootie catcher type things, and they had their little trail mix bar. So overall, it was a lot of fun. After that, we had some kind of ketchup and pickles time. It was basically like our study hall we typically have on Fridays. And oh, I didn't mention with the Guess the Baby game, I didn't tell them that my baby picture, which this is the baby picture I included, I had snuck my baby picture in there. They didn't know that I was gonna be one of the babies, and no one guessed it, which made it even more gratifying that I was able to kind of trick them, and that was really cute. I had only one winner, so now I have an extra baby bottle pop. Honestly, I'll probably just hold on to it until next year. But I hope that you enjoyed following along and getting to hear some of the things that we did. In hindsight, I probably did an awful job explaining the day as a whole. I just have felt so scatterbrained. But if you did enjoy it, please give the video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. As always, thank you for watching. I love you so much. Don't forget to put your positive pants on, and I will catch you in the next one.